Hey guys, today's Tuesday, August 15 of 2023. You know the deal. Want to go over the dollar, energy, metals without any further delay. Let's get into it. Ooh, look what we have here. Crude is getting a little weak. We've been noticing it on the histogram, getting a little weaker. We got a PPS sell signal, but you know what? It could be all noise as long as we could hold and stay above 81.48. It's just a little retrace. Maybe they could bump it up and do another leg higher, but that remains to be seen. You can see RBOB trying to stay above 289. That's a swing pivot high. And on the daily, just kind of going sideways, not as weak as crude, but you can see there is some weakness kind of building in. So you got to keep an eye on that. Natural gas got this nice little bump all the way to like, what is that? What, 286? Yep, and then kind of pulled back. We'll be looking at that. Look at the histogram showing a little weakness on the daily. But so far, the trend is still higher. Crude probably a little weaker compared to RBOB and natural gas. Heating oil hit this trend line, and look at that. Starting to stall a little bit here. The histogram showing that. But if we hold 305, it's just noise. Once we crack that, then it could get a little more serious. But the Hekinashi's candles are full. So yeah, there is a little weakness, but the trend of the color is white, just telling you, hey, it's not that bad until we start seeing red and below the mobile bands. Looking at the metals, yep, the dollar, he's bringing pressure. But we're still battling out here on the weekly. It looks like we're pushing even lower on gold. On silver, we're kissing this trend line. Over here is a little off because this is the daily, but the weekly, you see it here. And there's a squeeze play to the short side that triggered. And on the daily, it also triggered to go short, not on the weekly. Silver got them on both time frames. So far, that's what the chart is showing. Copper, as you can see, got this little fake to the upside and now push lower. I'm short from this low. What is that? 369. Yep. So I'll see how it plays. You know, it could be a bear trap and then they'll spike it back up on me. So I have my stop right at that trend line. So just in case that's what they're going to do, I'll be out. So that's my game plan. My target will be 354. That's if the dollar brings pressure. But so far, you know, if you want to be more conservative, you wait for this candle to close and then go short. But, you know, maybe it'll probably end up being down here and then it defeats the purpose of going short because it's breaking out of this triangle pattern. And it could be a fake out. You know, it's one of those things you just got to, you know, you just got to just decide what you're going to do. And so I'm going for it. And that's my target. So let's see how that plays out. Palladium, it's at that pivot low of 894. It's at where, what, 893. So I like to see if this is going to crack. But if that holds, maybe it could really bounce and take out this high, which would be 923. It all depends. There's a lot of moving parts, the dollar. But so far, there's important, I guess, silver and copper. If silver could hold that and copper already failed. But, you know, the day is young. That's the target, 354. Let's go to the dollar because that's the king dollar. We kissed the 103 and pulled back. It's still strong. The trend is still up. Positive Kanashi candle, mobile's positive. Everything's positive. Just because it failed doesn't mean anything. It might probably just go and try it again and then break through. And then that's going to bring even more pressure and that's going to help my copper short. But if from here we stall and it was just this, I'm testing this, I'm kissing it, and now I'm going to go back down, then I'm probably going to get stopped out and all of these metals are going to retrace up. Did I miss one? I did. I think I missed palladium for the palladium lovers out there. Not palladium. Yeah, palladium. I always get those two confused. I don't know what's wrong with me. There we go. Yep, it got a nice little pullback in the MOBO. Hasn't broken down out of 1232. So we got this PPS buy signal, and now it pulled back. and they're both in squeeze place. All right, let's look at natural gas. I'm at 5 minutes. What has changed here? Well, we spike up to 286, came right back down. We're below R1. And I hate this. I never like this signal on the weekly because it kind of tells me that we're kind of getting a little toppy and it's just going back and forth. And it's not my favorite signal when I'm bullish for more upside. It kind of tells me that, you know what, it's natural that maybe we get a little correction before we go even higher. So that's how I use it. So not to be a Debbie Downer, but I don't like to see it on the weekly. And we have one on the daily. So we got two as of right now that are negative. And we couldn't stay above 283 on the value area high. We just pulled right back in. And it was going to push lower. This is the linear regression channel midpoint. That's somewhere around 271. You got the 20 support. You got the 50. You got the point of control, which is 262. Market profile. Yeah, we never got to enter the bear camp. So let's look at levels. So we went as high as 286 and pulled back, couldn't hold 279. It's just pushing lower. This is what the 30-minute chart. We pierced this 285. We were almost got close on the monthly pivot, which is 287. And now we're back to 279. It's actually at 2, because this is a Hikanashi candle. It's at 275. So this was a 279 level. That's a 279 level, and we are below it. And this is a 279 level. So it's interesting. You had it from a pivot. You have it from a midpoint on the weekly and a midpoint on the daily, which is today. So it looks like there's some pressure coming in. So let's see some support for this week. Targets to the downside, 275, 273, 271, and you got this red trend line, which I'm assuming is this one down here. And you got this pivot right here of 268. That kind of has been oscillating around. There's some pressure, and there's a low of this daily candle. Is that 274? Yeah. So if that doesn't hold, you got this trend line that I have and this pivot, which is all this whole area right here, 268 trend line and 271. These are your targets to the downside if you're bearish or for possible support. On the weekly, it goes all the way to 257. You could probably use the 269 right here. You got this pivot here of Monday session. But if that doesn't hold, 269, and then this midpoint from last week, which is 257. Look at the square of 9. You know, we're oscillating here anywhere from 273. We went as high as 286, and now we're back to 275 right here. If 273 doesn't hold, you got your 268 and then 265. And if the 180 degree doesn't hold, 265 then it's going to oscillate somewhere around 257 and then 273. But it hasn't gone that low yet. The lowest we were, what was it, 269? Yeah, it was somewhere around here. So that's that. I don't want to make this video too long, but, you know, it's not looking good. But we'll see. The day is young. Maybe they just, you know, bring it down in the overnight session. And when the U.S. opens up, we will regain back. As long as we can stay above 279, that's the key level. That's the number price you need to know. That's the number. That's the line in the sand on the weekly, and the line in the sand for Tuesday. And actually 263 is the line in the sand for the monthly. But, you know, you never know. Is that an ABC pattern working here on the 4 hour? Or, yeah, you never know. There's a lot of support there. Well, I'm going to sign out. Hopefully you like this video. I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on the dollar, the energy, and the metal sector.